Sure thing. We got old JR, Jim Ross reveals why Steve Austin versus Hulk Hogan never happened at WrestleMania 18. We've all kind of had sneaking suspicions about why this may or may not have happened, and JR went ahead and during a recent podcast on Grilling JR, he shed new light onto why one of the most highly anticipated dream matches in wrestling history, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Hulk Hogan, never happened at WrestleMania 18. And according to Ross, the match didn't fall through due to creative or contractual issues, but because of Austin's own decision. And he says, "Oh, I know it's true. I talked to Steve about it," Ross said. "He and I were very close. He confided in me because he trusted me, and that trust helped me manage the rest of the roster." Ross explained that Austin didn't feel confident about the match quality, believing that the chemistry just wasn't there between him and Hogan. He thought that the match would suck. He wasn't going to stand for having a sucky main event, especially at WrestleMania. According to JR, the decision had nothing to do with the finish or booking politics, but everything to do with Austin's desire to maintain the high standard of performance that he was known for. Steve was a perfectionist. He wanted to have a great match, not just a good one, and he didn't believe that he could get that done with Hogan. As a result, fans instead got The Rock versus Hogan at WrestleMania 18, a match that went on to become an iconic moment in wrestling history. But for those who always wondered why Austin and Hogan never faced off on the grand stage, Jim Ross says it came down to Austin's own quality control. I probably agree with Austin here. I don't know that the match with Austin and Hogan would have been as good as the match with Austin and The Rock. Uh, Due to contrasting styles and mentalities, and potentially where Austin was at mentally at the time, being that he was pretty close to on his way out there. What did he have, like another year or two?
Yeah, something like that. But then he did the sheriff thing for a while after that, still. But um, the build-up would have been amazing, and the hype would have been off the charts. I think the hype would have been bigger than the Rock Hogan match.
Oh yeah,
Before
it could have never lived up to the hype probably.
before they locked up in the little stare off, how Hogan and Rock did that, I think it would have been even bigger for Austin and Hogan, just because it's like, I mean, the Rock's great. He was like 1B, but Austin was like 1A during there. That was like he was the guy. There was a time where The Rock was the guy too, but when it comes to the height, the biggest part of the Attitude Era, the guy that everybody considers like the big face main guy, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just would have been,
The Rock would tell you that.
yeah,
Everybody that was there at the time will tell you that it was Stone Cold.
yeah. And it would have just. I'm glad that we got The Rock, Hogan. It was an amazing match. It's one of my favorites ever. It was one of the best crowds ever. But
Yep.
what we can only guess. And Austin's very protective of his character, his legacy, stuff that he does. So I mean, this sounds very legit. Jim would have no reason to lie about this. Jim's the man. He would never say anything to damage Stone Cold. They're like best buddies. Um,
Right.
but yeah, it's a tough one there. And now you look back at it and you see the Scott Hall one. It's like, obviously, I bet you Austin may regret that. He might not. It's hard to tell. But in the end, just another big what if that we will never have answered.